Welcome, Coaches Roundtable. I'm Ed Codi, and welcome our guest, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette sports writer and Steeler insider, Ray Fittipaldo. Ray, camp's just about a week away. I think there's more anticipation for the Steelers this season than there has been in the last maybe 10 or 15 years. What's your take?
And I agree with you. If you just look at the position battles that are going to be ongoing during training camp, number one, you have quarterback. Everyone wants to know what's going to happen with the quarterback position. And even though Russell Wilson is likely the starter, a lot of people want to see Justin Fields as well. But then you go to right tackle and left tackle. Are the two young guys going to earn starting jobs? You go to slot corner. Who's going to be the slot corner until Cam Sutton gets back? And then I think the biggest one, and this guy might not even be on the roster yet, who's going to be your number two receiver? There's tons of competition across the board. And I think it's going to be one of those training camps where there's going to be tons of storylines for the fans to follow.
Well, let's pick on that. Who's going to be your other receiver? Now, they trade Deontay Johnson now, and in Pittsburgh terms, he was a jagoff. However, a very talented jagoff. He took a lot of the pressure off Pickens, meaning Pickens didn't get double teamed. They don't get another dynamic receiver. Pickens, he's going to see a lot of double teaming this year. So let me play general manager for you. We'll talk about Hayward, but TJ Watt, he's a great player. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
7 years, hasn't won a playoff game, makes $28 million. I'm going to trade him to San Francisco for Brandon Ayuk, $19 million a year. One of the more dynamic receivers in the league. What a 1-2 punch that would be. What's your take on my trade?
See, but Ayuk, Ed, is going to want a new contract, and he's going to want one of those big contracts that Justin Jefferson got. And I think he's making $33 million a year. So even if let's say he makes $29-30 million a year, you're making the same amount as TJ Watt. And for my money, Ed, I would want TJ Watt over a receiver. I think he impacts the game more. I know what you're saying. He's an aging player. They haven't won with him yet. I get it. But even with TJ exiting his prime, right? I think he's 31 years old now. I still want him for another year or two, maybe 3, to see what happens, see if they can't build a team around him to finally get that playoff win or an extended playoff run.
Okay, so no trade there. The question mark will be, as you said, who's going to be that other receiver? Now, Arthur Smith, he likes the ground chuck, 3 yards, a cloud of dust. I love the running game back. Goes against the grain of how the NFL is operating these days. You don't have that vertical passing threat. You're not going to win. How do you see this working out? Can they do it this way?
Yeah, so let's say, for instance, they don't make a deal. Okay, so they go into the regular season with the roster they have now. You would have to hope that Pat Freiermuth, your tight end, develops almost into your number 2 receiver, okay? Because he does have that talent. It hasn't been utilized to this point, but he is a guy who can get a lot of targets and a lot of catches. And then also you would have to hope that Roman Wilson or Van Jefferson or one of these new guys that they acquired via free agency can step up and be a quality number 3 type of receiver, number 2 overall, but number 3 in your pecking order when it comes to targets. So is that feasible? Yeah, I mean, it's feasible, but like you said, it would be going against the grain of what other teams are doing. A lot of other teams are stacked with quality receivers, quality tight ends. The Steelers don't have that right now. That's why a lot of people think they're going to make a deal. But the 2 guys to keep an eye on for me, Pat Freiermuth and Roman Wilson, the rookie 3rd-round pick out of Michigan.
Now, when you mentioned the quarterbacks, I'm doing my research with the problem for Russell Wilson, when you roll him out, he's fine because he can run. But you're only limiting him now to a third of the field. His problem seems to be looking down the middle of the field vertically where he's had his troubles. I don't think, can Arthur Smith, how's he going to correct that?
I think you can do a lot of drop back, stay in the pocket, quick passing game. So get the ball out quick, 3-step drops, predetermined reads, that sort of thing. But Ed, when it comes down to it, Russell Wilson is going to have to run Arthur Smith's offense. And Arthur Smith's offense for years has been a lot of play action, work off the running game, like you said. And he is going to have to stand in there 5-7 step drops and deliver the ball down the field. So that's something that Russell Wilson is going to have to lean on. Obviously, George Pickens is going to be a big part of that. The one thing Russell Wilson does still do very well, he still throws the deep ball very well. So if they can somehow keep double teams off of George Pickens, get him matched up one-on-one deep with some other teams' corners, I think that could be something that the Steelers do well this year. But you're right, middle of the field passing game with Russell Wilson hasn't been strong in the last couple of years. We'll see if it's different with Arthur Smith.
All right, let's look at running back. Najee Harris not getting the contract that he wants. A lot of people talking about Jaylen Warren. I'm kind of like, what's going on here? Because Najee Harris has been maybe the most durable running back. He's a 3-down back. He blocks, he catches, he runs. What's not to like about him?
Yeah, I just think it's the way teams want to allocate their money to the running back position. And I still think the Steelers are a team. They're probably going to re-sign TJ Watt next year. You got a lot of contracts coming down the road. You might have to pay a receiver, whether it's George Pickens or someone that you acquire. And I just don't think teams want to spend, 7, 8, 9, 10 million on a running back when you can go out and get those types of players like a Jaylen Warren in undrafted free agency and not pay them a lot of money. So I'm with you. I think Najee Harris has been a quality player, but if you look at the touches last year and the snap distribution, it was almost 50-50 between Warren and Najee Harris. So there again, you're paying, $7 million on Najee's 5th-year option if you would have picked it up, and he's only playing half the snaps. Is that good business? I think that's what teams like the Steelers kind of grapple with there. So, they're not alone. A lot of teams don't pay running backs, but all eyes will be on Jaylen Warren and Najee Harris this year to see if that running back combo can be as effective as it was last year.
What's your major concern about the defense? You still have no resolution at Cam Hayward. He's going to make $16 million. I already mentioned TJ 28. There's $44 million there for the NFL's #1 paid defense. It's a good defense, 21st ranking, but not a great or dominating defense.
Yeah, they need Cam Hayward to come back and be the Cam Hayward of old. And if he's not, I think they might be in trouble. Larry Ogunjobi is an okay player. Keanu Benton, the 2nd-round pick last year, is on the come. They think he's going to produce a lot, but there are a lot of unanswered questions, and I'm questionable about the depth there. So after D-line, Ed, to me, it's what are you going to do at slot corner until Cam Sutton comes back? He cannot come back until week 8. You got a lot of unknown guys.
Didn't the Steelers know that? Didn't the Steelers know that when they signed Cam Sutton?
They knew he was going to be suspended. I don't know that they knew the length. So I think, you can get by for 4 games, maybe 6 games, but half a season that's a big chunk of games. So they got to figure that out. Again, that's another pickup that might happen early in the middle of camp if they don't like the guys who are currently on the roster.
Well, let's take a look at the AFC North, arguably the NFL's most competitive division. 0 chance Steelers win the division. Percentage chance.
I won't go 0, Ed, but listen, if Joe Burrow is healthy, the Bengals are going to be strong. Same with Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. I think the Steelers are probably 3rd place among those 4 teams. I'll say with that schedule, I'll say 7%. I think it's going to be an uphill climb for them to win the AFC North.
Well, let me ask you this. The national media has praised Mike Tomlin for never having a losing season. His playoff record, however, is 8-10. They haven't won a playoff game in 6 years. How do you weigh that against his regular season record?
Yeah, listen, I think Art Rooney said it best after the season. It's time to start winning in the postseason again. This is the longest playoff victory drought for the Steelers since the AFL-NFL merger back in 1970. So Art Rooney knows it. Mike Tomlin knows it. He got that big extension, but, in a way, the pressure's not on. But, It is. I mean, because it's a reality. People in the national media, the national fan base can say what they want. But if you live in Western PA and you follow the Steelers, you know that just getting to the playoffs isn't enough. So, yeah, Russell Wilson, veteran quarterback, tremendous defense, some good young weapons around Russell Wilson. I think it's time to start winning. And I don't think Mike Tomlin's job is in jeopardy if they don't win, but that doesn't mean that there's not some pressure on Mike to win this season.
All right, finally, Ray, last year I asked you if the theme song would be Rod Stewart's A Reason to Believe. You said no. So I'm going to ask you this year, with all the changes going on, will their theme song be the Jerry Lee Lewis song, A Whole Lot of Shaking Going On?
Yeah, there are a lot of moves going on. So I would agree with that. I think, again, Ed, I think it's going to be really tough for this team to make the playoffs. Look at their schedule, look at their division. But I think they could be in the mix. I think they could be 10-7, 9-8, something like that. Maybe you sneak into the playoffs. Maybe you can get on a little bit of a run. But this season is going to be hard with all those good teams in the AFC. And a lot of those teams, Ed, are on the schedule in the second half of the season. So it's going to be a challenging year for the Steelers, I think.
Hey, Ray, thanks for joining us. Have a great vacation. We'll talk to you again come this fall, halfway through the season.
Thanks, Ed. Appreciate it.
I'll be right back with Ellen George.
What you doing?
I'm gonna fix that toilet.
A sledgehammer.
Hey, you never know.
Maybe we should call a plumber.
No, I got this.
At Armstrong Comfort Solutions, our professional plumbers and service techs are standing by to help with all your plumbing and HVAC needs.
Everything okay down there?
Maybe I should call Armstrong Comfort Solutions.
Armstrong Comfort Solutions, where comfort is our middle name.
I'm back, joined to my right by the Swami George Abraham, to my left the Tiger Albert Campman. Under spotlight, honors. These two kids, they've won them all. We need 20 minutes to go over all their honors and awards for this year. Seneca Valley Junior pitcher Lexi the Flame Haynes named the Butler Eagle Girls Athlete of the Year. She's also Player of the Year, WPIAL, PIAA Gatorade Player of the Year, and Butler track and cross country star Drew Griffith. He was named the Butler Eagle Boys Athlete of the Year. He's won them all. Named the award, he's won them. Congratulations to both of them. Local all-state softball players, besides Lexi Haynes, Carolyn Voppel of North Catholic first team. She's an outfielder. Second team catcher, Lily Vicari of Butler. Second team 5A shortstop, Laura Kraska of Mars. 4A first team catcher, Mackenzie Reese of Hampton. Second team shortstop, Charlotte Lom of Hampton. 3A first team shortstop Abby DeHitis of Freeport. She had a terrific career there at Freeport. Boys volleyball all-state team 3A first team sophomore Will Robertson of North Allegheny. Second team had a great year, senior Colton Welter of Butler. Junior Jordan Hoover of Seneca Valley, and sophomore Peter Bradich of North Allegheny. 2A first team Ryan Check of Mars. Second team Derek Piatek of Mars. He is a junior. New hire news. You guys know this guy. BC3 has named former Slippery Rock High School and Grove City High School basketball coach Chris Birch as the new women's basketball coach at Butler.
Yeah, that's a good job for him. I'm sure he'll do an outstanding job. He took over from me teaching 31 years ago.
Wow. Hey, stories of the week. Major League Baseball, the All-Star break. The Pirates have 4-game winning streak, the longest since May. They're 48-48, 1.5 games back in a wild card race. You look at this National League Central Division, guys. Outside of Milwaukee, look, St. Louis 50-46, Pirates 48-48, Cincy 47-50, and the Cubs 47-51. It's up for grabs.
And we'll find out which club, which general managers, whatever, goes out and gets some players. That's going to be interesting. Who goes out and make some deals?
You mean not including the Pirates?
Yeah, not including the Pirates.
I have no faith. I mean, here's what I think. I'm going to go over some of this stuff. If they could get another right-handed power hitter, that would be key for their lineup to go along with Reynolds, who's an all-star, great year, 18 homers, 60 RBIs.
Well, everybody wants one, so
yeah.
So that's the problem.
Well, how bad do you want it? That's the key. How about Paul Skeens? He's going to start 6-0, 1.90 ERA, first Pirate pitcher to start an All-Star game since Jerry Royce, 1975. What's not to like about this kid? He's polite.
Well, he's
he
sensational.
says the right
You know,
stuff.
he's not. I don't care if he was polite or not polite. It has to do with he's a generational. If he stay healthy, it's easy. I mean, what can I say? It's easy to see in college. It's easy to see now.
Yeah.
His stuff is way past.
He had more trouble in college than he's developed. What's the new pitch he has?
Splinker or something.
Splinker,
Whatever.
He has the poise. Am I right or am I wrong? When I watch him, I say, this looks like a young Nolan Ryan out there.
He's that kind of stuff, too, by the way.
I watch the guys when they walk back to the bench. That's what I watch.
Yeah.
They just walk back like, what am I going to do?
And he's getting praise from players like Aaron Judge, who's watched him, and a lot of other players. So it'll be interesting. I think they're going to bat Judge first, so he gets a chance.
Oh, yeah, because he's batting fourth.
And
someone has to get on.
Now, was it a snub that Mitch Keller, 10-5, 3.46, didn't make it?
For Pirate fans, it is, but
What do you think?
How about the other pitchers?
Some other teams have pitchers too.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think it was. No, you have to decide between one or the other.
Hey,
and Skeens ended up beating them out.
What's the chance Skeens can be both Rookie of the Year and Cy Young Award winner?
MVP, I think Rookie. I don't think Cy Young.
They took the rookie bet down already.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think it was Cy Young Award.
Well, if we look at the Pirates All-Star break grades hitting, well, at times they hit like the Lumber Company with games of 5 home runs and 7 home runs. It's been very inconsistent, improved but sporadic. The team average is 231. Tellez has improved, but O'Neill Cruz has cut down a little bit on strikeouts. He's provided some key hits, but man, Sawinski's still struggling at 174. McCutcheon down to 230. Key Brian Hayes in a prolonged slump. I'm giving him generously a C- for hitting.
Yeah, it is generous. I give him a D. So yeah, they've been poor all year. Luckily, their pitching's been so good, or they would be.
I'll tell you when they get an A, when they're up 9-2.
Yeah. Well, here's my take. When they have these games, they score 14, 12 runs. Nutting's probably saying, "We don't need any help. Look, we just hit
when they score two. When they score 2 or 3, he says we don't need any help.
Well, there's enough right here.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I had a laugh. There was an article in the paper. Sawinski on the upswing. He's boosted his average from 160 to 180. What?
Yeah, that's what the Kevin Young, who's one of my favorite players of all time for the Pirates. I have to call him in and say, Kevin, quit telling me that Michael A. Taylor's is swinging the bat better.
Right.
And I don't. He thinks we're not fans.
He doesn't.
He doesn't. He'll say that on the air. But Jack's seeing the ball better now. Jack, he's hitting 174. Please start telling me.
He did that once with a guy. Said something about his long ball swing, and he had 2.
Right.
The one guy who's solid should be in the lineup every day is Nick Gonzalez.
Oh, he can hit.
I just like him.
And what hurts is, and I'll repeat this again, Eddie. They didn't have him coming out of spring training. So what did they see?
No,
what did they see in spring training that says, well, we don't like Nick Gonzalez. He can't play. He looks like their second best hitter.
Yeah. And the thing I like about Reynolds and Gonzalez, they'll hit to all fields.
They hit all fields and they swing.
Yes.
Now, you understand, I hate guys that continue to take pitch after pitch. And that's the new thing in baseball. I still hate it. I want guys that swing.
Hey, how about this news? The PA lawmakers to the Pirates, you need to spend more money on the team as a condition for your new release in 2030.
Can they make that work?
They can withhold the funding.
Or he can threaten to leave too. They better watch themselves. Don't get too frisky.
I never thought that.
He doesn't spend a lot, but he brings a lot of money into that town. Now he might not bring in what that guy wants him to bring in.
I can't believe he'd go anywhere because he's got it made here.
You don't think he could bring some people into in Nashville or somewhere?
That's a possibility. Hey, we look at the catcher situation. I think Joey Bart has emerged as their catcher. He's not hitting around 238, but home runs, key home runs, RBIs.
Lately, he has done that.
What are they going to do with Henry Davis?
But over the long run, he's one of those guys like I've seen a million.
Right.
You like when he's played sporadically. He does okay. So you put him in line for 10 days, you'll say, boy, does he stink. He's one of those guys who can't play every day.
It's the biggest weak spot on the team.
That's because Henry Davis didn't come through. That's what happened.
So now what do you do with Davis? Do you try to work him in as a first baseman? What do you do with him?
No, they're going to keep. They're going to try to make him into a catcher because the catcher's not like it's not a strong point.
I'm
They're hoping
not
he comes
sure
back.
he can hit.
Well, he hasn't lately.
No.
At all.
What's he hitting? 150.
Yeah,
He had a concussion. He went down
He's number
too,
one
and he
pick
had a
too. It
concussion.
wasn't like
I know that. I
Yeah,
know
in
that.
other words, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Can he hit? It's how well does he hit? You're not a number one pick if you can't hit at all.
You know what's sad? If he were hitting 235 or 240, they wouldn't be concerned.
No,
They'd be
that's
happy.
today's world.
Yeah.
But once again, he was once a great hitter.
Yes.
I'm blaming the Pirates. I'm not blaming Henry Davis. I don't know what they did to him.
They've taught him
No, just-
that.
they taught him something different.
They teach them all that upswing.
They taught him
To-
something
to
different. I have no
lift the
idea
ball.
what,
Yeah.
how, what they said.
Yeah.
But he went from
Launch
being a great
angle.
hitter to a good hitter to a poor hitter to the worst hitter. I mean, what they've done to him.
Well, let's look at the starting pitching with Skeens and Keller and Jones, who's injured, Falter. It's B plus in my mind. This pitching is good enough to win a playoff series.
Yeah, I got an A. So I got one a D and one
Oh,
an
we're
A.
close. B, A,
Yeah,
A.
I got one A and
Plus
one a
A,
D.
yeah.
If Jones was healthy, I'd be an A. Now Jones is hurt, so it's down to a B now. But yeah, they were tremendous. And then,
Now,
by the way, they got 4 more pitchers coming. It isn't like
I
you
understand.
understand. They got pitchers coming from all over.
Not the spot that was supposed to be strong has given him troubles. The bullpen. Bednar's been
Getting better,
injured.
though.
He's
Getting
off.
better.
It's getting better,
Way better.
but it needs to be. Chapman's inconsistent.
He'll be going
You
in
need
2
Bednar
weeks.
healthy.
Chapman will be going
He
in 2 weeks.
He could be. Right now, it's bullpen by committee, and I only give him a C plus right now in the bullpen.
I just think they're really Maluski's really coming on. Nicholas is really coming on. They got guys that
Holderman.
are throwing. And he's been there all year.
Yeah.
I'm talking about guys that are throwing 196 now. They're getting people out. I really like their bullpen a lot.
All right, let's go to the manager, Derek Shelton. I'm going to give him a C minus. The way he sometimes baffled me. He left Mitch Keller in one game. He got battered over first 3 or 4 innings. He'd given up 8 or 9 hits, 6 runs. He let him pitch 5 innings. Why?
Well, Shelty is every decision. That's what baseball is. That's what's fun about baseball. You can question decisions all the time. It's fun, but you can't question when the guy runs the first base carrying his bat.
No,
And
you
that's the part. I don't mind what his decisions. That's his choice. He's done something. But you have to demand running the first base. You have to demand throwing the ball to the right base. You have. That's where they mess up. I'm so frustrated when they don't run out balls to the
he
infield.
carries his bat.
Cruz does.
Yes.
I know he does.
Hey, here's what's surprising. So they're 48-48. They have 66 games left. That to me, I'm surprised that only that the All-Star game is this late and they played that many games.
5/8. There are 5/8.
Usually it was around 90 games and you had over 70 left for the second half.
I'm glad
of
you
the
say that to
season.
the fans, Eddie. George has been saying this.
Yeah, it's 5/8.
The All-Star break used to be, it's the halfway point.
Pretty
No,
much half.
it's way past all
Yeah,
halfway
and you
point.
know, with the Pirates at 48-48, they haven't been this good in 6 years.
And a 4-game winning streak, the first since May.
Yeah.
But I told you it was coming. I said, wait till next one. They're really going to be good. I'm because I got another pitcher coming. Chandler.
Who's gonna hit?
Chandler's going to be.
Yeah,
They're hitting
Bob
fine with the
Chandler.
pitching they have. They'll get 2 guys in the offseason. Not great, but like Tellez, and somebody's going to come through. They're going to be really
All right,
good.
I'll believe it. I'll believe what you're saying.
I've been saying it for 3 years.
When they sign a Vladimir Guerrero in the
They're not going to sign
offseason,
Guerrero.
well then they're going to have the great pitching. They're going to still stumble with the hit.
I know you're the negative man.
What would-
I'm saying a positive.
What would
I'm
be
saying
wrong
positive.
with, like, they're at 80? What would be wrong with getting, like, maybe, like you said, 2 decent guys getting it up to 110? It still wouldn't be
Nothing.
out of sight.
Nothing. Hey, Hall of Fame, Jim Leyland inducted. Great manager, won one World Series. Nothing against him, but still no Danny Murtaugh with 2 World Series. I'm just
I think
continuously
that's your best team,
baffled.
Eddie. That's your best team. I
just
like that team.
baffled me.
I agree, and I think Richie Allen. I think
Absolutely.
Parker and Oliver.
Oh, Dave Parker.
Come on.
But Allen's the one.
Yeah.
He's third all time.
Didn't he have 500 homers?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's no. Can you believe how bad the people are that they hold against him just because they put hi Eddie.
Yeah.
Just because he didn't do that, he gets.
Look at
done
the
in the
players
Hall
they
of Fame.
brought in who
Harold
inducted.
Baines.
Not better than
Not
the
close.
Dave Parker.
No.
Not better than Dave Parker.
No.
He could do it all.
Yeah, I know.
He was a 5-tool player.
That throw he made to Carter in that All-Star game from the base of the wall, that's classic.
Hey, Major League Baseball draft. The St. Louis Cardinals In the 7th overall pick, they take J.J. Weatherholt from West Virginia, and he's from Mars. 2023, he led the nation in hitting, 449 with 16 home runs. He's a middle infielder.
Yeah, and that's what I think 6th or 7th guy to taken in the first round from around this area. So that's pretty cool.
And the Pirates select Mississippi High School shortstop Connor Griffin, 6'4", 215.
He'll
They
be
like
center
big
fielder.
shortstops.
He's going to center.
Yeah,
field.
he's going to center field.
Good.
That's the top.
Good. They need some
You're
help
doing
there.
the old Joe Paterno. How many quarterbacks can you recruit? You know.
The NFL, the Steelers cornerback Cam Sutton suspended by the NFL for 8 games for alleged domestic violence and avoiding the police for 2 weeks. Let me ask you something. He will not be eligible until week 10, November 10th at Washington. Does the Steelers not see this coming?
They don't care.
This just.
No,
You mean to tell me there weren't other defensive
there was
backs out
nobody
there
they
to
could
sign?
get. You know, they talked about the Browns having the guy at the massage parlor, but this is okay.
Every
The guy
team-
for the
every team-
Pirates?
Every team, if you read again, every team
Somebody.
has
Somebody's
somebody.
done
Yeah,
something.
Somebody has.
Did you see
something.
Jordan Addison?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh my!
No, his teammate just was killed a week ago, drunk driver.
Yes.
He was asleep in the passing lane on the highway. In the lane, in the car.
Hey, Sutton.
George thinks he's going to get suspended for 2 games.
Oh.
Who?
Addison. George
Yeah.
thinks Addison.
Yeah.
is
Sutton
suspended.
plans to appeal, hoping for only a 6-game suspension.
Mhm.
Really, Steelers open camp July 24th. Hey, high school football, ongoing drama. The PIAA challenges Beaver County judge ruling to keep Aliquippa in 4A for this coming year. Commonwealth Court is hearing that case as we are doing this show today. Now, to add a new wrinkle into this drama, the PIAA is considering an addendum to move anyone up who wins 2 state championships in a row, regardless of transfers, aimed at maybe Southern Columbia. And this is my thinking. This is also to say, we're doing this for everybody, so just not Aliquippa.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's second part of
you
that.
smell that
Yeah,
too?
yeah.
How about Southern Columbia? How many times have they, Albert, 11 out of 12 or
Yeah,
8 in a row?
whatever it is.
And no transfers.
Now,
Okay.
here's the only thing
I don't
I'm-
believe that. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
here's the only thing I'm saying about the Quips. I understand what you're saying, but on the other hand, you've taken in 7 players since January in the transfer portal. 2 or 3 of them Division I players. You had an all-state player from North Hills who was declared ineligible. Now you can't have it both ways.
But I know so much. They're all a couple of kids. See,
But
that's
see, okay.
that's the thing about it.
Okay, so they left.
They try to get out of
now
there
they're
because
coming-
it's so
Mhm.
that's
I understand.
And they're great. The other thing, they're great players. See, if they were just a lousy
I
player,
don't care.
but no one would care one bit.
See,
No.
that's it. The funny part is they dominate. I don't get why they would win the 5A.
Right.
I think.
Well, there are a lot of teams in 5A hoping
Don't want them there.
stay in 4A.
Sure,
Hey,
sure.
as we finish up here, college football and the future of the ACC, so many lawsuits going on, boiling points. Clemson has sued the ACC on exit fees. The ACC then has sued Clemson. They're in court with Florida State. Where to have the venues in Florida, in South Carolina, and North Carolina. Let me say this about Clemson and Florida State. Did you sign that deal?
They did.
Okay. So if you want to leave, leave. Shut up, pay your money, and leave if you
Oh,
want
is
to.
that penalty severe?
Yeah, it's severe.
Oh.
But George, guys, they see the gold mine of the SEC, and they
Mhm.
want to follow that rainbow.
More importantly, around here, what's going to happen with Pitt?
That's
That's
a topic.
the idea.
That's a topic we're going to
Oh,
discuss
big
in the
talk.
coming shows.
Okay.
Hey, thanks for joining us. We run out of time. We'll see you next week.